So you're looking to the front. You're listening to the words I say. You're giving me your most valuable asset. It's non-renewable and it's strictly limited. It's your attention. And by giving me the next 14 minutes of your attention, you will have the knowledge and the tools to become more mindful on whom you share your attention with. So let's go. To start, I also want to go on a journey with you. And I want you to imagine, you don't have to close your eyes, but I want you to imagine being at this beautiful place, standing at the cliff, surrounded by nature, by the sea, all alone by yourself, enjoying the experience to the fullest. That's so relaxing. But it's not reality. It rather looks like this. And when I was standing there last year, January, I was thinking, what would be the perfect next picture for my Instagram story? What would be a nice post? I had my eyes and my hands glued to my smartphone. And right afterwards, the second thought hit me, and it was, what the hell is wrong with me? How can I be at that amazing place and be thinking of Instagram and posting a stupid picture? And that thought right there, it changed everything for me. But let's take a step back. What was I doing? Hands and eyes glued to the screen. You might know it from other people as well, maybe from yourself. I'd like to call that phenomenon smombies. People that are so distracted by the constant gaze on their smartphone that they are hardly aware of their surroundings. And when I came here, I saw smombies in trains. I saw them on train stations. I saw them today after my work at Teach for Austria, sitting in the park, chatting with a phone. And smombies are even closer, like at our SIMC closing trip last summer in Croatia, where we had that nice phenomenon. It was not scripted, it was really taken like that. And I guess when I walk just one more minute over here, I might find smombies among us as well. But that's so striking, right? We have attention as our most valuable asset on the one side. It's so limited. And then we have ourselves glued to the screen, so addicted and so sucked into that experience. And I'm wondering, why the hell is that happening? So I read a lot of papers and books, and it comes down to the attention economy. In this economy, businesses make money by developing technology that attracts and retains our attention for as long as possible. The smartest people, most of them somewhere in California, are developing tools that just focus on exactly that, getting sucked us into the attention. And it's not because we're lazy or weak. Instead, there are different strategies how they do that. One of them is unpredictability. We as humans, we love to have unpredictable rewards. That's why we are so curious what's behind that shiny little red one on our Facebook Messenger, on that one on the WhatsApp message, or behind the heart on Instagram. We just love that, we're curious. Also, we have a natural aversion for loss. If we have something we don't want to lose, we do anything to keep it. And that's how Snapchat operates with the snap streaks. You know, there are children that give their phones to friends when they're going on vacation without internet connection to keep the snap streaks with their friends, to not lose that high number of friendship. And lastly, we humans, we love social approval. So we want to be liked, we want to feel in the community, to feel like we're belonging. And that's also the reason, social approval, why I was standing there in Patagonia, asking myself for the perfect next post, hoping for likes. And it was also like a slot machine, like I pushed and I waited, and I pushed and I waited, maybe I have more friends, more likes. But that's so scary. On average, we spend 4 hours a day on our smartphones. Can you imagine that? Screens are so irresistibly attractive that we spend 4 hours, apart from work, not on the computer screen, on our smartphone screen per day. We totally underestimate it. And that comes at a cost. So you, as smart business students or young professionals, you're used to learning, to concentrating, to thinking about the next big strategy. But by letting ourselves distract by our phones, we rewire our brain for self-interruption. Let me explain to you how that works. So assume you have your phone in your pocket. Maybe it's sending a notification or vibrating, and you get distracted. Okay, so far so good. That's predictable. But what happens when you let your phone do that again and again? You start to self-interrupt. Your brain rewires and starts interrupting you even when your phone is not making any noise. Maybe you know that feeling of, I want to get my phone out, or I want to do something differently. It's just because we're so used to it. And as I said, it's not our fault. Smartphones are designed to work that way. And that's what it makes so scary. So there was a big study in the US with 2,000 college students, and they discovered that on average, you distract yourself every 2 minutes a day. Every 2 minutes. Imagine what that means for concentrating, for studying. We lose so much time to finish our work. We lose our ability to concentrate deeply on thinking. And it's been proven that every 60 minutes you spend additionally on social media, more than the average, your GPA drops by 0.12 absolute points. That's been replicated among different studies. So we know that. We know that screens are so bad for us and for our study performance, and we still keep using it. It's just, for me, it's mind-blowing. It's scary. Like I myself, I'm also glued to my screen. But how can we not question that? It's so wrong. And also, because the attention economy is profitable, and because those smart algorithms, I have no idea about technology, by the way, but the algorithms are getting better and better in hooking us, it's very likely that the screen time is going to increase. So what should we do? Should we throw our phones away, get back to dumb phones, put them in the garbage, just log off of any devices? No, that's not what I'm saying. So technology can be so useful in so many different ways. But I'm saying we need to be more heads up, to not get heads down, focused on our screen all the time. Let me show to you what that means. So this graph has on the y-axis the positive contribution to our life, and on the x-axis the attention invested in time. And as you see on that beautiful line I drew in green, in the beginning our life gets better with the use and attention paid to our screens. Personally, for me, that's waking up with my Headspace app, even though I preferred your voice after hearing it now. So meditating with the Headspace app. I love listening to podcasts on my way to work. I love FaceTiming with my friends and family when they're traveling. And there are so many more positive examples. Parts where I really want to invest my attention and where technology is aligned with my interests. So far, so good. However, at some point, the benefit decreases. So you see, the more attention invested, it still has an impact on our life, even somehow positively, but it's stagnating. So it becomes flatter. And that would be watching a series you're not that much enjoying. It would be checking WhatsApp the 3rd time in an hour, even though you know it's probably neither urgent nor very important. Or it would be reading the news site, also maybe the 5th time a day, even though you're not expecting any news. It's still tolerable. Not every minute has to be so productive and so much in flow. It's fine. But at that point, you could, or I could ask myself, what might I be doing instead? It would be acceptable. However, afterwards, it becomes shocking, really shocking. Because actually, there's a lot of time invested that decreases our life quality, that has a negative impact for us. And we're still using that technology. Even though we know it's bad for us, we're still so much hooked into it by all the technology and the smart engineering behind. And that, on that curve, looks like accepting the autoplay feature on Netflix, watching series after series after series, even though you might want it to go to sports or you wanted to go out with friends, but it's just so comfortable to just accept the default option. That curve over there, the pink one, it can be lying in bed with your smartphone in the hand before going to sleep, even though you know screen time is bad for your sleep quality. So on the pink curve, it's really making our life worse. It's also the smartphone next to studying, or the smartphone when you're having dinner with friends and you keep staring at the screen at some point. So it's actually making our life worse. So a lot of words and scary things. So what to take out? We have to determine that red point over there. So the point where it would be perfect to quit focusing on the screen. And to determine that point, I tried some stuff. So back to Patagonia, that shocking thought, and realizing that shocking thought. So I deleted Facebook, I deleted Instagram, I deleted Snapchat. I quit all the online services I subscribed to. I logged off my email account, and I felt like a hero. Now I was staring at all the other tourists with their phones. I'm like, oh my God, I'm over that shit. It's just like, I'm free. I have so much time to read and relax and meditate. However, I also realized that's not feasible in the long term. Because after, I think it was 6 weeks in, I missed the first birthdays. The first friends forgot to write me on WhatsApp that they're having a house party. I missed some important information for studying or for Teach for Austria. So there really was a negative effect as well. So what to do now? Reinstall the app? Get back to addiction? I found a solution for myself, which I want to share with you. And that's actually pretty dumb, but it works for me. So I logged back into Facebook, and I chose a password that's that long. It has like 20 characters, really. No chance to remember it. And I wrote down that password on a piece of paper, manually, and I didn't save the password in my Facebook browser. And that sheet of paper with the password, it's in my shelf at home in a folder, and it's so hard to get that stupid folder out and open that piece of paper to log in. So that changed for me so much, because now I only use Facebook about one time in a week, maybe once in 2 weeks. And I still have the invites for the events, like for student talks. I still see my friends posting some pictures. But I'm just spending like 20 minutes a week on Facebook instead of hours like before. And I'm proud to tell you that I'm not back on Instagram, even though I loved it, and that I'm still not back on Yodel and all the other entertaining attention screening devices. So the thing I want to say is not that you should now also determine such a long Facebook password and do the stuff that I did, but I'm asking you, for yourself, determine that point where you need to get off your screen. If you're working as social media manager and you need to be reachable, that point will obviously be further on the right. There's much benefit from you using it. But if you also enjoy offline entertainment and have friends you like, you should consider it even shifting further to the left. So, as Cal Newport said, the key to be thriving in our high-tech world is to spend much less time using technology. And with that sentence, I want to invite you to keep your head up. Think about things that help you getting off at that stupid point, to not getting hooked by all the technology behind, and focus more on your life and how it can become more positive. So I'm really curious about your ideas. Let's connect afterwards. You can also reach me at Eva at phocus.at. And if you want to read more about the books and the studies I mentioned, you can find it on the internet site. And that's, by the way, also a really nice app that gives you benefits for not using your phone. So thanks very much, and I hope you took something away. Thank you.